Well, we're not done because it is time for the season debut of the Insider Trading After Show, an homage to the Hills After Show with Dan and Jesse. And today, I am Dan, and Jamie Noodles McLennan is Jesse. I hope that's okay, Jamie. How are you, buddy?
I'm fine with that. I'm good.
So CJ says all is quiet on those Willie Nylander extension talks. But, Jamie, we can't be surprised about this, can we? The last time Willie Nylander went into a potential contract extension, he waited it out to the last minute. He's proven to be a patient guy. Is there real pressure on him, going into this season, or am I reading this incorrectly?
No, there's pressure. Now, the difference was he didn't have a contract before. This time, he actually does have a contract, so he's going to be playing for another one. So that's the scenario here. The pressure on William Nylander is, how much do you want to get paid? How much do the Toronto Maple Leafs want to pay you? And what does that look like? But Nylander, yes, nothing seems to faze him. He's a very poised individual on the ice, off the ice. But it comes down to dollars and cents here. And the pressure is, are you going to perform in a pressure cooker situation like the Toronto Maple Leafs? The expectations are high. And if the ask is high, because I'm not privy to the number, then you've got to go out and earn that this season. And that is the challenge for William Nylander and his camp, and Brad Treliving and his management group too, is to find a common denominator, a common ground to get a contract extension done. But the pressure is certainly on William Nylander. He set the bar last year with 87 points, career high, set the bar with 40 goals last season. If he follows it up with another monster season, then he's going to be looking at a big number, and they've got to sort that out. But certainly the pressure is square on William Nylander, but I think he relishes that. I think he wants that. And the harder he works for that new contract, the better it is for the Toronto Maple Leafs organization.
Jamie, I know a lot of people are surprised that Mark Scheifele and Connor Hellebuyck are still with the Jets. And yet, as Darren Dreger just pointed out on Insider Trading, at no point did Scheifele ask for a trade. And maybe, do you think for Kevin Cheveldayoff, Jamie, this might end up being the best-case scenario? If they both play well, maybe they're back in the postseason, maybe they want to stick around. If they don't, you could move one or both of them at the deadline.
Well, there is options. And yes, there is a timetable because, you're looking at them both individually. They both have different situations. Connor Hellebuyck is one of the best goaltenders on the planet. Mark Scheifele, when he plays to his capabilities, a top-tier centerman in the National Hockey League as well. But that being said, they've been in Winnipeg for a long time. And we saw Rick Bowness's reaction at the end of the year, we'll call it that, pure frustration. Now, they've moved some players out. They've gotten younger on the fly. This is a team that needs to hit the ground running. But when it comes down to it, I think the dialogue's going to be there all season long. So Kevin Cheveldayoff has to have a pulse as to where his top two players are at, mentally, physically, everything, because when it comes down to it, if the Winnipeg Jets, let's say, are in a playoff spot come the trade deadline, but the confidence isn't there that both of these players want to sign, one or both, and a long extension to stay in Winnipeg, you've got hard decisions to make. And this is the business of hockey. But it's all about the dialogue. It's all about the communication and the trust between the players and management to say, if you have that open communication and trust, you can play throughout the season without that extension deal in place. But the minute you don't feel like there's trust there, you're going to have to make the hard decision at the trade deadline and move one or the other if they haven't signed or committed to sign in the offseason an extension.
Boy, you've made a great case for a very exciting season in Winnipeg. Whether Jets fans are excited about the whole situation, I don't know, but it's going to be very interesting to watch. And they open preseason play this Sunday in the city of Edmonton. Jamie McLennan, always a pleasure. Thanks for this.